everybody, welcome back to Road Cycling with Pat. Hey Pat.
Hey Serafina, thanks for having me on the show.
Now, last time we talked around braking, which was the very first thing that it's good for people to learn. But the other thing that I find that people ask a lot of questions about, and I see them not using it, and even when I started riding, I didn't use the gears properly. So gearing, what is gearing on a bike? Why is it important? How do you do it?
Yeah, look, gearing is very, very important for everybody. It's very important for a professional cyclist. It's very important for the commuter, for the person that's just started with cycling.
When you get into cycling, there's this whole other language. It's like going to a foreign country and having to learn another language. And you're like, what are you talking about?
Gearing helps you maintain a cadence that is most efficient so that you can get over the climbs, you can take advantage of a tailwind. When there's a headwind, you can change your gearing, basically to keep your cadence consistent. So for myself, who raced for a living, my objective would be to have a good cadence between 80 to 100, and that'll be the most efficient cadence, so I expend the less energy moving forward. Cadence is the revolution, how many revolutions you do per minute. So a really experienced cyclist could be pushing around 85 to 95 revolutions per minute. And often the novices kind of struggle to push 50 to 60 revolutions per minute. Does that mean do you need to count them? Oh, some people actually count the revolutions, but today's technology, you can get a little computer that does accounting for you. Is it important? Not really. I think the idea is that you notice that your legs are moving quickly and you're trying to maintain 80 to 90 RPM revolutions a minute.
And so not putting that stress on your legs really, isn't it? Like you're not, like you're saying, like you don't want to be grinding up the hills. I've seen people just even on the bike paths going up some simple uphill and they're like struggling, and I look and they're in the hardest gear. Like they just don't realise that you can put it into an easier gear. It doesn't have to be hard. Yeah, so get that movement.
Yep, I see a lot of people, really grinding, and I think maybe it's a lot to do. A lot of people drive an automatic car, where in the old days we all had a manual car, and when you have a manual car, you know that you're getting to a hill, you've got to change gear down to third or second gear, and it's a bit the same with a bicycle. You get to a hill, you got to change before you get to the hill and get into the right gear, which is properly up here somewhere. It's better to be over-geared than under-geared. The mistake I see people making is not having really good cadence. So you really want those pedals moving around. And especially if you're new to cycling, you want to try and spin as much as you can because it's more efficient than grinding. So if you're grinding all the time, you're just wasting a lot of energy. And I still see a lot of people in the hills, they're going really slow, about 30 RPM, and really you want to be changing your gear into a bigger cog, and you want to be sitting, for a beginner, you want to be sitting around 65, 75 to begin with. And as you become a bit more experienced, you become a bit more efficient, and then you can sit on the pro or the more amateur pro level of 90 RPM, but that's not really that necessary. I think anything above 80 is a good cadence. So yeah, the gearing's really evolved now. I mean, this is old cables. Nowadays you've got Bluetooth, where they are electronic gearing, but whether you have electronic gearing, Bluetooth gearing, or just old school cable, it does the job. And I hope to see a lot more people spinning up the hills instead of grinding.
Yeah. When I first started riding, I did not have any comprehension around gear changing, and I was terrible at it. And so it took a while, and people teaching me how to do it and watching. So while I'm riding, watching changing and then feeling like, okay, that's harder, that's easier. So you actually need to understand if you want to be good at cycling and get the most out of your bike and riding, your fitness, not damage your knees when you're going uphill.
Spinners are winners. You keep that in mind, and you'll really progress rapidly.
Awesome. All right, stay tuned for the next one, because we are going to do some skills and how to handle your bike.
That's right.
All right. See ya.